Rationalization of surds also comes under the heading of simplification of surds only. But here, by simplification, we mean whenever we have the fraction having the denominator some surd form or some surd number, we have to rationalize it. For example, we have the number as 2 upon under root 5. In this fraction, we can see we have a surd in the denominator. Why do we rationalize? Rationalize means we have to eliminate the surd from the denominator or to finish the surd from the denominator. The rationalization is a process where we finish the surd from the denominator. And why do we do this? We do this to make the things look simple, because when we have under roots in the denominator, so addition, subtraction of fractions, multiplication of fractions, that gets a bit difficult. So to make the things simple, to make the things easy to handle, we rationalize it. And rationalization means, I repeat again, it's getting rid of surds from the denominator. How do we do this? We use this simple technique, and that is when the same surds multiply, the roots get finished. The same is the situation here. If, for example, we have to rationalize this 2 upon under root 5, what we do is we multiply both numerator and denominator from the with the same surd number. This process will not be affecting the value of overall value of the number. Why? Because we know that under root 5 upon under root 5, root 5 upon root 5 would get cancelled. So technically its value is 1 only. And 1 when multiplied with any number, it doesn't affect the value, doesn't changes the value. The only thing changes is the form. The form, in this given form, you have the fraction having the denominator as a surd. But after doing this rationalization, you'd have a different form where there will be no surd in the denominator. How? If you multiply root 5 with root 5 in denominator, root 5 into root 5, root will get cancelled, giving us a 5 only. And for numerator, 2 into root 5, that would be 2 root 5 only. And as a result, what you can see is we have got rid of this under root 5 from the denominator. And if you may check in your calculator, this both 2 root 5 upon 5 and 2 upon root 5, they both would be having the same decimal value. The only difference is in the form of expression, that's it. Otherwise, their numeric values, it's all same. Sometimes it happens that we have more than 2 terms in the denominator. For example, we have now the expression as 2 upon 1 minus under root 5. Unlike the first case where we had only one single number, one single surd number in the denominator, now we have multiple terms in the denominator. And for these multiple terms, only one of the terms is having the surd number. So in this case, what do we do is we multiply both numerator and denominator by its conjugate. I am using the word conjugate. Conjugate. Conjugate means out of the 2 terms what you have, you change the sign of one of the 2 terms. For example, if you have an expression as 2 minus x. So for 2 minus x, these are the 2 terms. You change sign of one of the 2 terms. Either you write this as minus 2 minus x, or you write this as 2 plus x. You change sign of only one of the two terms, not both the terms. This is what we call as conjugate. What if both the terms are having the plus sign? For example, we have 3 plus 2x now. The two possible conjugates here, it would be either minus 3 plus 2x or 3 minus 2x. So here again, for both these possible conjugates, you have changed the sign of only one of the two terms. So same is the technique here. We would be multiplying the fraction by its conjugate. So it would be, and yes, in here for this number 1 minus under root 5, the conjugate would be, we are multiplying it this by 1 plus under root 5. Why do we do this? We do this to make the use of this third algebraic identity, if you may remember. The third algebraic identity is a square minus b square. Algebraic identity to be used. Which is a plus b into a minus b, and that is always equals to a square minus b square. So here again in denominator you see that we have this as a minus b and this as a plus b. So a minus b times a plus b, that always results in a square minus b square. So in the denominator, it would be a square minus b square, which is 1 square minus root 5 whole square. And numerator, it would be multiplied as it is. So 2 into 1 plus root 5, this has to be. And that would result in 2 into 1, that's a 2 plus 2 root 5 upon 1 minus root 5 whole square, that would be a 5. So it would result in 2 plus 2 root 5 upon 1 minus 4, which is 1 minus 5, which is a minus 4. And this can be simplified further. Sometimes students leave it here only, but this can be simplified. How this can be simplified? In numerator, we can take 2 as common. So when you take 2 common, for the first term, you are left with 1. For the second term, when 2 is taken common, you are left with only root 5 divided by minus 4. So 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are minus 4. And that would give us the answer as minus 1 minus 1 minus root 5 upon 2. We never leave a negative sign in the denominator. We had this negative sign in the denominator that was shifted to the numerator. So this is the final answer. Let's do one more example. Now let's suppose we have the number as 2 plus root 3, or make it 2 plus 4 root 3 upon root 3 minus 2. Or this time make it plus 2. Numerator, we can keep a negative sign. Okay. So 2 minus 4 root 3 divided by root 3 plus 2. So since we have two terms in the denominator, we have to multiply by its conjugate. That would be 2 minus 4 root 3 upon root 3 plus 2 multiply by root 3 minus 2 upon root 3 minus 2. You have to make sure that one of the terms gets the opposite sign. Now here, denominator, it will always be a plus ba minus b. Here you can see this is a plus b, this is a minus b, which is equals to a square minus b square. So under root 3 whole square minus 2 whole square. And numerator would be multiplied, which is 2 minus 4 root 3 into root 3 minus 2. Multiplying them, we'll get 2 into root 3. It would be a 2 root 3. 2 into minus 2, that would be a minus 4. 4 root 3 into root 3. Now 4 root 3 into root 3, that's minus 4. And then root 3 into root 3, root will get cancelled, leaving behind 3 only. And then this minus 4 root 3 has to be multiplied with minus 2, giving us 8 root 3. Whole divided by root 3 whole square, which is a 3, minus 2 whole square, which is a 4. We look for the possible addition and subtraction. 2 root 3 plus 8 root 3, they can be added, giving us 10 root 3. And then minus 4 and minus 4 into 3, that's a minus 12. So minus 4 minus 12, that would be a minus 16 upon 3 minus 4, which is a minus 1. And here again, we can see a minus sign in the denominator, and we never leave the negative sign in the denominator. That would be shifted to the numerator. And when it gets shifted to the numerator, it will alter the signs. Alter the signs means plus would change into a minus, minus would change into a plus. So this positive 10 root 3 would become a negative 10 root 3. And negative 16 would become a positive 16 upon 1. And this would eventually be the final answer. So that's simply minus 10 root 3 plus 16 is the final answer. Any questions, class? Anything which is not clear? G.
10 square 3 is equals to okay minus 10 square root 3 क्यों हो गया?
Because we had this negative sign in denominator, minus 1. And as per the rules of mathematics, we never leave a negative sign in denominator. This negative sign of denominator would be shifted on the numerator, and that would eventually alter the sign, that would change the signs. Plus would convert into a minus, minus would convert into a plus.
Okay.
Any other question?
Mhm.
Acha. Now I've picked up these two questions from the past paper. Surds has been a recent addition in our syllabus, both in IGCSE and O levels. Until 24, you won't find these questions in your past papers. So the only past paper resource what we have is the appearance of these questions in May 2025. And these two questions in front of you, I have taken both these questions from the past paper about surds. They both came in O levels. One came in variant 2, I think, and the other one came in variant 1. So I'm giving you 5 minutes of time, and both these questions came in paper 1 without calculator. So that means you cannot use the calculator to solve this. To solve this without the use of calculator. Okay, so these are the two correct answers for the two questions given. And after these two questions, I have this another question. This came in IGCSE 2025, paper 2, variant 2. Solve this also. Okay, so these are the answers for this past paper question. In addition to this question, you can have a look at this one more question. I have also added the answer here. So once we are done with these questions, the last thing to be discussed in Surds is we can also expect some word problems for Surds, like this example here. For this particular example, what we are given with is the questions. The question says area of triangle is 3 minus under root 2. If the length of its base is, this is the base, this is the area, and we have to find height in the form this. So since it's about area of triangle, we have to start with the formula of area of triangle only. Area of triangle, it's equals to half into base into height. Area is given here, which is 3 minus under root 2, is equals to half. Base is also given, which is under root 2 minus 1. And we are supposed to find height. And following the basics of fractions and algebra, to solve height or to find height, we have to move all the terms and all the numbers on the other side. So 2 when moved on the other side would go into multiplication, making it 2 into 3 minus under root 2. And then this under root 2 minus 1, this has to go into division when goes on the other side. So it's under root 2 minus 1, leaving height on the other side. And to keep the thing simple, we can write this as height is equals to 2 into 3 minus root 2 upon root 2 minus 1. Now this needs to be simplified because the question says, look at the requirement of the question. The question says, give your answer in a plus b root 2 form. So that means there is no fraction. This needs to be rationalized. And to rationalize this, before rationalization, we can simplify the numerator. That would give us 6 minus 2 root 2 upon root 2 minus 1. So we have to rationalize this fraction. So 6 minus 2 root 2 upon root 2 minus 1. Multiplying this by its conjugate, it would be root 2 plus 1 upon root 2 plus 1. Numerator, it would be multiplied as it is 6 minus 2 root 2 into root 2 plus 1. And in the denominator, it would be a plus b, a minus b, which is equal to a square minus b square. So that's under root 2 whole square minus 1 whole square. So 6 into root 2, that's a 6 root 2. 6 into 1, that's a 6. 2 root 2 into root 2, that's minus 2 into 2. And minus 2 root 2 into 1, that's minus 2 root 2. whole divided by root 2 square, that's a 2 minus 1. Simplifying it further, 6 root 2, like term, 6 root 2 and minus 2 root 2. They can be added together, giving us 4 root 2. And then 6 minus 2 into 2, 4. So 6 minus 4, that's a 2 upon 1. Finally, it's to have the required form, it has to be a plus b root 2. This was the required form, a plus b root 2. So to meet this form, the constant needs to be written first, which is 2, followed by the surd, which is 4 root 2. So we've got the required form, a plus b root 2. So in this case, a it's a 2 and b it's a 4. So you can expect these types of word problems as well in search. We'll do one more word problem. Now this time it's a rectangle shape. Question says area of a rectangle is 7 minus under root 3. Given that it has a length, this is area given to us. It has a length of 5 root 3. This is the length given to us. And we have to find the breadth. As it is about the area of rectangle, the rectangle shape, we have to start with the area of rectangle formula. Area is equals to length times breadth. Area is given as 7 minus root 3. Length it is 5 plus root 3. And breadth is something what we need to find. And here again, to isolate breadth or the breadth to be found, you have to move this 5 plus root 3 on the other side. And that has to go into division. So 7 minus root 3 upon 5 plus root 3, this has to be equals to breadth. Rewriting it, breadth equals to 7 minus root 3 upon 5 plus root 3. And now this needs to be rationalized to have the final answer in this form, a plus b root 3. This rationalization is 7 minus root 3 upon 5 plus root 3. We'll multiply it by its conjugate. So it would be multiplied by 5 minus root 3 upon 5 minus root 3. Denominator it will always be a plus b a minus b. So denominator it would be a square minus b square, which is 5 square minus under root 3 square. And numerator would be multiplied like 7 minus root 3 into 5 minus root 3. So 7 into 5, that's a 35. 7 into root 3, that would be minus 7 root 3. Root 3 into 5, that's minus 5 root 3. And finally, minus root 3 into minus root 3, that would be a minus 3. Denominator 5 square, that's a 25. Minus root 3 square, that would be a 3 only. Simplifying it further, 35 minus 3, the like terms, 35 and this 3 when added, it would give us a 32. And the other like terms are minus 7 root 3 and minus 5 root 3. When added, that would give us a minus 12 root 3 upon 22. But the required condition, if you may see this has separate numbers where a and b are the integers to be found. So we'll rewrite this as 32 upon 22 minus 12 root 3 upon 22 because this 22 divides both. So we'll write this as a separate fraction. So, and this needs to be simplified. 32 upon 22, that would be 16 upon 11. And this minus 12 root 3 upon 22, that would be 6 root 3 upon 11. This is how we get the answer in the required form, a plus b under root 3. In this case, a, it would be a 16 upon 11, and b, it would be minus 6 upon 11. Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay, so if this is all clear, then I would like you to solve one question and then we'll end the class. Okay, we can solve this question and then we'll end the class. Okay, so this question is having the answer 4 plus 2 root 6, the final answer. This was all about surds with simplification, rationalization, and some past paper questions along with this word problems also.